Task Force TV, live from the 27th National Conference on LGBTQ Equality, Creating Change in Denver, Colorado.
Hi, I'm Danielle Moody-Mills of Politini on Task Force TV, here with the fabulous Wade Davis, former NFL player and executive director of You Can Play. And we're talking today about Bruce Jenner. Okay, Bruce Jenner has been in the press forever, right? But more so in the past 2 weeks than ever before about his impending transition, or what is rumored to be his impending transition. And I want to talk to you about that as an NFL athlete that came out after the fact, and Bruce Jenner being an Olympian, right? And what the impact of his transition could mean, and us following it, and maybe some of the hesitation that us in the LGBT community are having around this conversation around Bruce Jenner.
Well, you know, I think one of the most troubling spaces around this conversation is Bruce has yet to speak out about it. We're all waiting for Bruce to say something, and I think that it's a little unfortunate that Bruce will invite us in. He won't come out. He will invite us in when he's ready, right? And you know, I really wish that we would provide space for someone like Bruce for whatever he's going through. And as Janet Mock said, you know, the binaries of male and female are very blurry. It's not as black and white as we may actually think. I just hope that we show up and support Bruce whichever way that he wants to be desired. And then once we do find out and we hear from Bruce, the sports community, the LGBT community hugs Bruce in any way possible that he needs, and also the straight community as well.
What do you think that some of the high points and low points of us, if there is a reality TV show, which we've heard is going to be on the E! Channel, right? And we know that the E! Channel is entertainment. What do you think some of the highs or lows, the positive or the negative impact of following Bruce through this journey?
I think one of the positives is that there can be a lot of education around what it does mean to go through a transition, if that's what Bruce is doing, what it means to be transgender, to really educate people that there's a difference between gender identity and sexual orientation, right? That when you think of LGBT, the T is actually a very separate thing. I think the negatives is to sensationalize the actual thing of transitioning or being genderqueer or what have you, and for people to not see that this is a very intimate thing, a very personal thing, that if Bruce is transitioning, he's inviting us in to that actual thing. And you know, I just hope that we would actually handle this with kid gloves. You know, the work that a Monica Roberts has done, a Janet Mock, a Laverne Cox, a Tikma Milan has done. I don't want that work to be set back by sensationalizing something that really is very personal. How
can they avoid that, do you think? What advice would you give the network that is going to be handling his story, right? And I'm using, and I know that we had a back and forth on Facebook about what pronouns we should be using. And I said, until Bruce tells us how he wants to be recognized, that and confirm his transition, that we'll continue to refer to him the way that we have, you know, over the past several decades. But what do you think the media can do in order to, like you said, handle this issue with kid gloves, handle it in a thoughtful and educational way as opposed to a sensationalized way?
I think the one thing you have to do is bring in individuals who are trans-identified, who've been doing this work for a long time, in case Bruce is deciding to transition. Bring in a Christina Carl, like someone who works in the actual media. Don't just make this something to get ratings, but make it something that's very educational, that's done with love and done with compassion, because this is a moment in time where you do have the Janet Mocks and the Laverne Cox who've really started a very beautiful conversation. Let's continue that conversation, not set it back by trying to get ratings and make a mockery out of something that's really beautiful and personal.
How do you think that the athletic community is going to handle Bruce Jenner and other athletes that are coming out, whether they be transgender, whether they be gay, lesbian, bisexual? What do you see for the future of the professional athletic community?
I would hope that we would celebrate Bruce. First thing, Bruce has been one of the greatest athletes ever. He's a gold medalist from the '76 Olympic Games, and I would hope that the sports community has done what it's done to Fallon Fox. to Michael Sam and Jason Collins to really show that the sports community is about team, is about family. And I know that Bruce played an individual sport, but there still is a team dynamic to being a part of the Olympic family. So I would just hope that we wrap our arms around Bruce and say, hey, whatever you want to show up as, whether it's genderqueer or whether it's still Bruce that we've always known, your journey is our journey.
So we have a tremendous opportunity here to live, to learn, to understand one another a little bit better. And possibly Bruce Jenner could be the key to that, one of the most high-profile people that we have seen, and be able to follow along with him on this journey. So I thank you so much, Wade Davis, for giving your thoughts on the issue. And of course, we will absolutely come back to you again, because who knows where the story will go.
Exactly.
Here's to change. Thanks.
Task Force TV, live from the 27th National Conference on LGBTQ Equality, Creating Change in Denver, Colorado.